Working Interferences is intended for mature audiences. Since the hosts never grew up, someone needs to be the adult. Welcome to Working Interferences with Josh and Lance, the dental advice podcast for the average dentist. Here is Josh and Lance.
Raz, what is up? Welcome to the Working Interferences podcast, dental advice show. I'm Joshua Austin.
And I am Lance Timmerman.
Lance, do you have Olympics fever?
Oh, shit, is that happening?
Apparently that's an answer to a question.
I'm going to go with no.
I love the fucking Olympics.
I usually do. I don't know. It's bad taste in my mouth right now, so...
You can gargle with a little scope to get that out of there.
I'm a big fan of the gargle.
I've been watching all. I've put all my other stuff on hiatus. All the other stuff I've been watching.
Okay.
Schitt's Creek hiatus, White Lotus hiatus. Nice. Haven't started Ted Lasso yet. Preemptive hiatus. Just because it's like you only get it for 2 weeks, and you only get it for 2 weeks every 4 to 5 years, depending on a global pandemic. So the problem is it's just like a fucking bukkake of when it's here. It's just all day, and you know, you got a weird time zone thing. So, you know, big. Do you
bounce from channel to channel? You go NBC and then NBCSN and then MSNBC?
Yeah, USA Network. Yeah, check that out. CNBC sometimes, MSNBC. Yeah, it depends on what's on. I've found that I love fencing.
Nice. Okay.
Fencing is awesome now because it's like, first off, they talk a lot of shit. There's a lot of there's a lot of trash talking. After every point or whatever, I don't even know what it's called. I guess a point. After every point that gets scored, they just like scream and are just like, yeah. Like it's just a lot of that.
Bunch of scrawny guys flexing.
Yeah, and it's hard to tell how scrawny they are because they're in fucking spacesuits.
Yeah,
they're in these craziest outfits, and they have these helmets where you can't see their face, but they have lights on the side of them. Like they have these big LED panels on the side of their helmets and in front of their helmets that light up either green or red depending on who scores the point. And then there's light strips on the ground, half is red, half is green, and how that lights up. It's like fucking Tron. It's like Tron with swords. And so it's great. And they had a young lady who won the gold for the United States who's a med student. And just fucking imagine how insufferable she's going to be when she gets back to campus.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Does the gold medal go over the lab coat? Is that instead of the stethoscope, we just have the gold medal around our necks?
Walking around like in Wayne's World when they got the backstage pass. Hey,
yeah, for sure. Can you imagine rounding with that bitch? And then she's just they ask her about I don't know what the fucking pKa is of sodium bicarbonate, and she just oh, hold on, I have it written down here, and pulls the gold medal out of the inside of her shirt and just
that's what I do.
I mean, do you go to the administration and be like, oh, I'm going to the Olympics. I'm going to be gone for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I guess they just have to let you go. I get they can't be dicks and be like,
I can't imagine.
No, you're not going.
Yeah, I don't see that as being a barrier, but I could be wrong.
I'm sure she'll catch up, right? It's fine.
Yeah. How hard is med school? I mean, honestly.
It's all on ball bearings now, right?
Exactly.
I do have a new favorite athlete, though. She's not American. Do
you?
It's an Australian swimmer.
Okay.
Named Ariarne Titmus. Her tit is actually in her name. It's Titmus. It's fucking epic.
Okay.
It's just... You just hear the broadcaster say Titmus, Titmus, Titmus 15 times. And you're just like, are they saying Pitmus with a P? Or are they saying tit on NBC at 8 o'clock at night?
It's like the ESPN guys.
Over.
Every time it's the Kennel Club thing, there's their chance to say bitches all day long.
Yes, they love it. So Titmus just wiped the floor with Ledecky in the freestyle.
Wow.
And, they just said Titmus a bunch of times. It was great. And then they showed, there's not really spectators there. Like if you're another Olympic athlete, you can go, but that's pretty much it. And so they show the spectators, and they've been showing a lot of like wherever it is back home, like the watch parties they're having back home. Mm-hmm. And they showed the Titmus watch party, and her grandma's there like jumping up and down. And I was just like, I'm Grandma Titmus. and just like the epicness of Grandma Titmus' character just seems like fucking great. And just, I don't know, like I'm sure like tit in Australia doesn't mean anything, so it's probably no big deal.
Are you sure?
I mean, there's there's a bunch of weird shit like that, where it's like in Britain, like you can say cunt 500 times, and like it's like literally in school books, like no one gives a shit. It's not that big a deal.
And smoke a fag is just really not a big deal.
No, it's a cigarette, right? Or is it an elevator? One of the two.
Could be both.
It's just like it's not a big deal there. It's just not a curse word there,
right?
And so it's like I'm guessing like tit doesn't mean breast in Australia. I'm guessing. It's just Australians are weird. They probably have like rumplesnitz or whatever means fucking, like you can't say that word on TV though.
No. Not at least twice. So
the one time and then the fine. And then that's not it.
Exactly.
I know you had a crazy week. I don't know if you want to talk about what's going on or not, if this is something you want to save.
I should probably save it. Let it
okay, that's fine.
Ruminate. Yeah.
I don't want to screw anything up for you in talking about it. So when it's safe for you to talk about it, you can talk about it.
Yeah. All right. Thanks.
I did write another 5-minute story today.
Did you? Okay. All right.
Yeah. So I don't know how long this. I timed it though. Me writing this took 5. So that's, again, let's go over the premise of this. A good writing exercise is to write out a story in 5 minutes. So set a timer on your phone for 5 minutes and get out as much as you can get out. And then once you have that skeleton down, then you can always go back and add to it. But that first 5 minutes is always the hardest part. So once you can get that down, you're in. And so my goal is to kind of get to the end of a story in 5 minutes. And so if that means I have to leave some stuff out, I will. And then I'll go back and add it later. But again, the hardest part is getting that first framework down and then finding a time that the audience knows that your story's done. And this one is a little bit weaker than the last one, the ending, but I think it's all right. So this story literally happened today. So this is a real life story that actually happened today. So are you ready for my 5-minute story?
I think I'm ready.
All right, here we go. I just saw my ex-father-in-law at Discount Tire. It was the strangest thing. I'm waiting in line to pick up my keys, and I hear the person at the counter in front of me give the clerk the phone number to look up the account, 210-383-7719. Holy shit. I know that number. That's my ex-wife's phone number. I had the following thought, and it's the first time that a human being has ever had this thought. Thank God for the Delta variant of COVID-19. Because of the Delta variant, I was wearing a mask. I don't know why I thought I should put on my mask because I walked into that Discount Tire. It may have been because I just saw a CNN alert on my phone that the CDC is recommending masks indoors again. It may have been because I saw all the employees in the garage at the Discount Tire wearing their masks. But for some reason, though, I channeled my inner Anthony Fauci as I walked up to that Discount Tire, and I couldn't be happier. As it dawned on me who it was that was standing at that counter, I realized that I had not spoken to Jake in over 9 years since the divorce. I'm sure that it would have been fine. Time heals all wounds. There would have been no fisticuffs or fighting words exchanged. I'm sure the interaction would have been cordial yet uncomfortable, just like my last prostate exam. Regardless, it was not a cordial yet uncomfortable interaction I wanted to have at lunchtime on a random Tuesday. You know how in situations like that you can feel your brain performing thousands of calculations in a second? Like a TI-82 calculator, my brain was doing the math. I was next in line. If they called me up to the station next to Jake, they would ask my name, and he'd hear it, just like I heard him. My cover would be blown, and I could not let that happen. There's a little counter to the left with some magazines and a view of the work bay. I ducked over there, hoping to not be helped until Jake had left. I pretended to wait and flip through a magazine about RV lifestyle until the coast was clear. Surely they won't bug me while looking like a patiently waiting customer, right? Wrong. A sales rep in a red polo swooped in to ask me which vehicle I was waiting for. Oh, good. Not my name. Tesla Model X, I replied. If I'm going to get spotted, I might as well max out the he was driving a nice car meter of the conversation that Jake would later have with my ex-wife. Ah, yes, the rep said. What was the name on that? Shit. I whispered, Austin. Jake didn't notice. Whew. He hands me the key and I walk out, undiscovered, but with my mind swirling. He gave them Christy's phone number, which means he was dropping off her car. I now really wanted to know what she's driving now, so I surveyed the lot. Purple Toyota Sienna minivan? No way, that's not it. 2005 Acura TL? No, that's not her style either. Oh, that must be it. A Land Rover Discovery Sport. Entry-level, small luxury SUVs were always her jam. Right at this moment, I had the strangest feeling. It was like a feeling of confirmation, like watching someone's pet king cobra wheel around and bite them on the hand. I was right. She was, and still is, an entitled, spoiled child. A 41-year-old entitled, spoiled child. Even into her 40s, she still had her father running around and doing her errands for her. I had never doubted that I made the right decision before, but this was real-world confirmation. Confirmation that if someone is entitled and spoiled in their 20s and 30s, they probably aren't going to grow out of it. People are who they are. No amount of entry-level luxury SUVs can change that. There we go. 5-minute story.
There you go.
What do you think?
Well done. That's kept imagining myself in the same situation. I don't have similar circumstances, but
I was going to say, except you don't have an ex-wife or
No.
an ex-father-in-law.
Not yet.
Yeah, that actually happened today, and it was very strange, and I had all those feelings, and I'm glad that I wasn't noticed.
Yeah. No, good on you. That's
I don't know why I put on that fucking mask. I don't know. I don't know what it was. I haven't worn a mask inside I don't know, since the CDC said not to do it anymore. So
yeah. I if anything, I tend to be trying to rile things up, Wade style. Where I went to pick up Skylar at the airport last week, and when you're in the airport, it's like everybody, no matter what, you're just wearing a mask. Yeah. And she was at baggage. Normally, she just carry on. So the fact she was waiting for a bag was kind of annoying. So I went in to help her out, and everybody's wearing a mask, and she sees me. She's like, she reaches for an extra. Wait, put on a mask. I don't have one. Oh, here's one. No, I don't want one. No, they don't. Just put on a mask. I'm not going to put on a mask. Just do it. No. And I grabbed her bag, and we walked out. So I tend to be that guy. Now, if I was like, I'm going to be at the airport tomorrow, I'll be wearing my mask the whole way through because I just pick your battles kind of.
You don't have a choice. It's either that or don't fly.
Exactly. So I was just going in to grab her bag and walk out. So it was nothing. So
yeah, I don't know. I'm sort of at the point where it's like, if it makes other people comfortable, whatever. It doesn't bother me. But now with this stuff that's going back around again, it seems like it's inevitable that there's going to be a little more ratcheting back. Mainly it's because you fucking assholes don't get vaccinated. But, I don't know. Whatever. That's a different debate for a different time. But the good news is that my ex-father-in-law did not see me. Which I don't know. He may not even say anything, even if he did. I don't know. The
relationship was okay? You and him got along okay?
It was always fine. I do remember one time we were doing some work on like either his garage or my garage. I don't remember what. And this was like, it's like pre-podcast, like pre-smartphone. And like smartphones were around, but still would just like, if you're working outside in the garage, you just have like the radio on and just whatever the radio station. And whatever radio station was on played I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For by U2. And I said to him, I never really liked U2. And he looked at me, and I'll never forget. He's just like, "What?" I was like, I don't know. I've just never really liked U2. And he thought I was talking about like him and his wife. So I remember that. That was a fun one. But there was never any contention. I'm sure he was peeved at me when I dropped the hammer. But I'm sure it would have been fine. It just like wasn't. I just wasn't in the headspace for it. today or
sure.
any day, really. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd ever be in the headspace for that, but
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I don't know. I tried that. That happened, and then I kind of came back to the office and was like, I need to write this down before I forget it, and wrote that out, and then realized that you'd had a crazy week, so that you probably would not have finished your homework assignment. So
I did not finish. I appreciate you stepping up.
It's just that's so on brand for Lance of not finishing homework.
Well, it is what it is.
Apart from doing all the technical stuff on the show, that's pretty. I mean, that homework you're
Right.
always on time on. That homework you're good on. Always. Lance, this is an advice show.
Sometimes.
We answer your questions. We might actually answer a couple of questions tonight. We've been doing a one per, but we've got a couple lined up.
Yeah.
We answer questions we find on all those neat little dental Facebook groups. We answer questions from Reddit. We strive to help dentists and dental team members with our own unique brand of advice. So please, we need your questions. They are the sustenance we crave. You can submit your questions to workinginterferences@gmail.com. Now, we don't want just any question, do we, Lance?
Oh, fuck no.
We don't want a bunch of boring questions like, who's the best person to run into at a discount tire? Because we all know that your stepmom stuck in a tire is the best person ever to run into at a discount tire.
I think I saw that
questions
one.
that Gordon Christensen cannot answer. Gordon has not seen that one.
No.
Guaranteed. Gordon is not familiar with the glow up that stepmoms have received over the past 3 or 4 years. Question 1. Reddit user Laugh Puppy asks, Grandpa Clinic versus Medicaid Mill. I'm considering 2 different job offers. One is a cushy FFS crown and bridge practice that I'm really tempted to take. The other is a crazy Medicaid mill with 36 chairs. The Medicaid mill will train me to a, quote, super generalist. So I'll pick up speed and get really good at everything, hopefully, but will work me to the bone. Which one would you pick and why? I love the idea of the FFS Grandpa Clinic, but I still have so much to learn and worry about stagnating. Edit. The Medicaid place, to be fair, does do every procedure. They do implants, same-day CERT crowns, root canals, ortho, which they would train me in and have me do, sedation, etc. One of the current workers actually graduated from the same school as me. I got a number, and I called her after, and she said they did train her up a lot. They even paid $16,000 for her to take the ADA implant course. She's only 2 years out of school and doing much bigger procedures than me, impacted thirds, etc.
So I'm assuming the Medicaid place is just a place that accepts Medicaid, but not. I've never heard of Medicaid doing implants. So
yeah, or CIREC, or endo, ortho. Yeah. I mean, I think it's. My hunch is it's a mill
36 chairs.
That probably takes some Medicaid.
Yeah. Probably just on every single plan
Not necessarily
out there.
a only Medicaid mill.
Yeah,
because an only Medicaid mill would be a lot of pedo and extractions.
Yeah, Clint was in a Medicaid mill first year out of school, and I thought a lot of Medicaid mill type stories were exaggerations, and they're not. They were based on fact.
Yeah,
and he shared lots of stories. So
it seems to me that this person is really considering the Medicaid mill because of the training that they can get there.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess I get from a perspective of like, yeah, man, let's let the man pay for this.
Yeah.
And then at some point I will take those skills, I'll take those talents to South Beach or wherever they really want to go and open up or buy a blank, whatever.
Yeah.
And I see that side of it. I absolutely 100% see that side of it. I don't love the idea, like 36 chairs, all that. Like, that's a lot.
And I think probably an overlooked thing is the actual people that you're going to treat. So there's a certain bias, there's a certain mentality that comes with that group. And I don't like to cast too many aspersions here, but, in my practice...
if it's actually a Medicaid-based practice.
Yeah.
I think we should caveat that.
Because I, for the most part, really do enjoy most of the people that come through our doors. And we weed them out. I mean, we had a guy last week where underestimated his insurance contribution. So when the dust settled, he owed us $70, and he called up, refused to pay it. He says, it's your fault. You're supposed to make an estimate. It's on you. So I said, okay, fine. I'll write this off, but where do you want your records to go? Because you can't come back. I never want to see you again. And he's all freaking out, going, wait, no, I liked you, and I liked the place. I just think that, you got to be more accurate. I'm like, yeah, if you're expecting that this is not the place for you. And so that kind of person, and I was telling the person that was interested in my practice this story, and they did not see eye to eye with my perspective on patient retention. But I'm like, I don't want that kind of person in my office. And I would think at a 36-chair mill, you got bills to pay. You probably have to see everything that walks through the door, which means kissing a lot of ass and maybe doing a lot of procedures that maybe you don't want to do either. I mean, God, I'm thinking you got pedo in there, and I'm just not a fan.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's what it's going to come down to is like this is great. That the one side of the coin is that you get a bunch of training and that you get to learn stuff and whatnot. The other side of that coin is that you're going to be uncomfortable a lot.
Yeah. And I would find out what's the turnover of other doctors in this place. Because my understanding is places like that, they go through a lot of doctors, not just employees of all sorts, but including clinicians. And
also, if they're going to give you $16K to take an implant course, I don't know what ADA implant course is $16K, but go to fucking Pathways.
Yeah, Implant Pathway, hands down.
Don't take anything from the ADA. No offense to my ADA folks, but like if you're looking at an ADA implant education versus fucking Pathways, take Pathways.
Yeah. Pathways, AID stuff, for sure.
Here's what
I don't know.
Seems like to me. Everybody wants a fee-for-service practice. And as you have a chance to get into one.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can get in one early. And you said it, one is a cushy fee-for-service crown and bridge practice. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, they're not that easy to find, and they're not that easy to create. If you're going to go out there and hang a shingle, I can't imagine
you're not going to be able to do it.
No. Kelsey right now is shitting bricks because she's just hung a shingle and starting. And that's a tough road to hoe.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're going to start taking it, and you're going to be slow, and you're going to take a plan and 2 and 3 and 4, and that's the way it goes. And that's what I did, and then fucking still dealing with it. So take your cushy FFS crown and bridge practice, and then use that fucking sweet fee-for-service money and take whatever CE you want.
Yeah.
And then add that in. You're going to start doing Invisalign? Cool. Go take a great fucking Invisalign course from either Gala or Mullis, and then start doing it. You want to learn implants? Save up a little bit, go to Pathways. Start doing it. Start doing it in the cushy fee-for-service practice and build that to be what you want it to be.
Yeah. It's
instead of like going to play for the Yankees.
Yeah, that's I don't 36. I look at my 4 and go, I don't want more than 4.
Real fucking hard. Real hard to manage.
36?
Yeah.
Tell me there's like 10 doctors there.
Gotta be. Or 8.
Okay.
Something like that.
And 4 hygienists each or something? I don't know. Think of all the hygiene checks per hour.
2-3 hygienists each.
Oh. Man, I'm lucky to go to get a single exam per hour for a hygienist. Got to do 2 to 3 at a time.
Yeah, no. That was my day-to-day, and it's rough. Now, I honestly wouldn't have it any other way. Like, that's the way I like to work. But there's a difference between that and the 36-chair, quote-unquote, mill. There's an absolute difference between those two. And so I just think, like, this is one of those where it's like, this is a 24-year-old dude who meets, like, the perfect woman who's a smoke show. She's hot. She's rich. All she wants is sex, and she's successful and amazing. And you're like, this is fucking great, but man, I'm 24. I sure would like to bang out some party sluts for a few years. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why you want to bang out those party sluts? Like, you got what you're looking for right here. It's right in front of you.
This fee-for-service practice is not going to be available when you are finally ready for one. And
yeah, it's going to be gone. Somebody's going to gobble it up, and you're going to wish that you had it, because in about 3 years, when you're burned out from working to the bone from this, you're like, all right, I've learned enough of this shit. I'm ready to go get over there, and it's going to be fucking gone. Mm-hmm. It's going to be like a rom-com where this fee-for-service practice is going to be getting on an airplane to London, and you're going to have to go run through the airport, to chase it down and tell it that you love it and that you want it to stay there in Davis, California, or whatever the fuck, wherever it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just every fucking shitty romantic comedy movie. Let's look at Laugh up here. Holy shit, 91,000 karma.
Wow.
A lot of stuff about dieting and fasting.
So Laugh Puppy's kind of fat?
No. I would like to hear from a serious weightlifter how you incorporate fasting into your life. So I don't think so.
Okay.
I do not think so. A lot of keto stuff. Here's a good one. Is perio bullshit?
Well, periodontists, sure.
I like I know you're down on periodontists and perio, but I like those guys. Do you guys stay with your patients the whole time they are getting numb to, quote, watch for a reaction, end quote?
No.
Fuck no.
Simple answer. Nope. I'm gone.
No.
I got a hygiene check to do. You're in the Medicaid mill. You won't have time.
Yeah, no.
You
there's
got
none of that.
36
Peace.
shares.
I'm out. If you're dying, just scream out.
Yeah. If there's a medical emergency, you'll figure it out. You'll know.
Here's a buzzer. It goes nowhere. Yeah, I mean, this guy's definitely a weightlifter. Definitely keto. Definitely intermittent faster.
Wow.
Tom Papa has a great bit about intermittent fasting.
Oh, yeah?
It's just like intermittent fasting. It's where you eat sometimes, but you don't eat all the time. Like you eat, and then you don't eat again for a few hours, and then you eat again. Like regular fucking life.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
basically the whole where it gets to.
Uh-huh.
All right, yeah. I mean, with 91,000 karma, there's a shit ton in here, but it's all legitimate stuff. Andy's a weightlifter, so I'm not gonna go
Don't piss him off.
digging too deep. There's a Twitter subreddit, which is a weird, very Venn diagram. Yeah. Too much time to get into there.
Yeah.
Or not enough time to get into that. All right, Reddit user Apple Grape Soda asks, "Hi all, bit of a strange question, but hoping for some advice. I've noticed recently that whenever I brush my teeth, I smell the faint smell of mild vinegar. I changed toothbrush and toothpaste, but it's clearly something with me. I don't taste anything strange. I brush twice a day and floss often. I don't smell it any other time but when I brush. Any idea?"
Is it from sucking all the cock?
I don't think so. I've never heard anything about it smelling like mild vinegar.
Yeah, that might be a condition.
Like a syndrome?
Could be a syndrome.
The vinegar stroke syndrome? So
I have not come across this. No one's ever asked me this.
this is one of those things where it's like I haven't thought about the smell of vinegar in a long time. Like I haven't smelled vinegar in a while.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about it in my head and I can smell it right now. You have that deal?
Oh yeah. It's hard to forget once you're.
Is that synesthesia?
Okay.
And
I'll allow
I
it.
think synesthesia has to do like where you taste a number. You know, like how the number red tastes. Synesthesia.
I don't know. I hear colors, so
Is a perceptual phenomenon not to be confused with synesthesia.
there you go.
All right. It's a perceptual phenomenon in which stimulation of one sensory or cognitive pathway leads to involuntary experiences in the secondary sensory or cognitive pathway. People who report a lifelong history of such experiences are known as synesthetes. Awareness of synesthetic perceptions vary from person to person. In one common form of synesthesia known as grapheme color synesthesia or color graphemic synesthesia, letters or numbers are perceived as inherently colored. In spatial sequence or number form, synesthesia, number, months of the year, or days of the week elicit precise locations in space. For example, 1980 may be further away than 1990. That doesn't make any sense to me. But the thinking of a letter as a number, thinking of a color as a number, I can see that. For some reason, like, what color do you think of when you think of 4?
Yellow?
Oh, I think of red.
Well, you're wrong.
What color do you think of when you think of 2?
Blue.
I think of blue as well.
Okay. All right.
Number 1?
Yellow. Again.
Yellow again?
Yeah, it's a very yellow
I think
day.
of green.
Okay.
I think of green.
Huh.
What the fuck were we talking about?
I don't know.
So I know that there's something about like diabetes, right? Where your sweat smells sweet or something like that, right?
Maybe. I don't usually sniff my diabetic patients. So, but I'm going to start tomorrow. I promise. Hope they don't think it's weird.
It's their breath. Let's see here.
So ketone bodies?
Yeah. So it's your breath. So could that be vinegar? Could that be perceived as vinegar? I don't imagine
Maybe.
vinegar as a sweet smell.
No.
It's acidic. Are ketones acidic?
Yeah, people in ketosis can be mistaken for being drunk. We were in a car accident a while ago, and I thought I got hit by a drunk driver, and I was going to kick his ass, and I was pissed. But then I decided to get the kids out of the car seats, and he had a strong smell of alcohol, but found out he just didn't take his medication, and it was diabetic ketosis, and smelled like that. So I could see the smell maybe being mistaken for vinegar. I mean, old wine is vinegar.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I've never had that experience of opening a bottle of old wine or wine that has not been sealed well.
Right.
Or that's been quote-unquote corked and
yeah.
had it taste like vinegar. Have you ever had that?
I haven't. I've heard stories, but I've never experienced it, so no.
This car accident was like, when you said you got the kids out of the car seat, his kids or your kids?
Mine. Yeah, we were...
Okay, so this was like 15 years ago.
Oh, it's 01, yeah.
It was like 15 days ago.
Yeah. Last week when the fucking... No. It was 20 years ago, and guy ran a red light and hit us. Thank God we were in a big expedition. If we were in our Toyota that we had, the Camry, pretty sure Brianna would have died.
Jesus.
So, yeah. I was a smartass to the lawyers when we were settling, and I was trying to explain. Clearly, he was a Plymouth Breeze, T-boned me in an expedition and made the axle, shifted and spun us around. And I said, clearly he was going very fast. Well, how do you know? Well, in high school math, force equals mass times acceleration. So my big car and his little car to get me spun means high force. And the attorney looked at the other attorney, and I guess Holly said I said it really smart-assy. And I'm like, that sounds like me.
I've never heard of that.
So, yeah, it was a good day.
Apparently, you sometimes get an acetone smell on your breath.
All right.
Acetone. I mean, that does sound a little bit diabetic-y, yeah?
Yeah, I would think so.
And your username is Apple Grape Soda.
I'm sensing a pattern
you know me,
here.
I fucking love diet soda.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, I've been known to shotgun
some melon
a
Dr.
time
Pepper
or two on here. Yeah, it's the Major Melon Mountain Dew Zero. It's all the different, Diet Dr. Peppers. I've been actually considering making my own cuvee of those. Maybe mixing a little Diet Dr. Pepper vanilla with Diet Dr. Pepper cherry. Get a little Diet Dr. Pepper cherry vanilla in there. Who's the real winemaker now, huh? I think I called you a winemaker earlier because you wanted to like do something with the edit on this.
Oh, yeah.
I might go get a fucking resting blood glucose test if I'm this person.
Yeah, it might be a good idea.
Let's see if they got anything else good.
Who knew that brushing your teeth could get a diagnosis like that?
Here's the only other thing is in the subreddit of adult survivors. I'm not going to make jokes about this. Never mind. Not going to do it. Not even try to do it. There are no jokes to be made.
Bad idea.
Moving on. We have time for one more.
Yeah.
Reddit user JWR asks, overdenture locked in. Has anyone ever had an overdenture lock in while relining with processing components? I waited 1 minute too long this afternoon, was unable to remove the denture after placing a hard reline material. I let the patient leave to try to eat on it tonight and hope it works its way loose. The only other thing I can think of is to destroy the denture by cutting it in half to remove it from the processing caps. Any ideas? Thanks. You got something for him, Lance?
The only time I've ever experienced anything close to this was when the implant part component was placed wrong. It was too much was exposed, so you've got the neck. So you put a gasket over the thing to try to pick it up chairside, but it's going to grab more than you want. Well, that's just bad implant placement. So it's a little late now. So yeah, I think you're, because the one time I just pulled really, really hard, and I think they talked about the fear of it. I pulled really hard and the implant came with. So that was a bad day.
Was the patient numb?
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
Did it hurt?
Not really. She described it as, not pleasant, but not as uncomfortable as you would kind of imagine, since the bone itself is not really innervated. It was just the tissues. But even that, it's not really, the tissues weren't ripped or anything. So, but it was fast. Once it gives quick. It's an experience you don't really forget.
I've never, so I don't reline, or I don't pick these up chairside for this reason.
I think that was the last time I ever did, and now I just tell people we're doing fixed, or we're going to do telescopic, or we're going to do something else. I don't like locators really much at all.
Call me a pussy. That's fine, because this is why I don't pick these up.
Mm-hmm.
I will do a reline, a lab done reline, and I will put the caps on. Mm-hmm. And have the laboratory and do polyvinyl, heavy duty polyvinyl, and I will have the laboratory process that with little caps in the reline, and that makes my life so much less stressful.
Yeah,
because I just don't want to deal with this. Because if it doesn't come out, and it might, who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, there's not much else you can do, right? Like, that's pretty much it. If it doesn't come out, it means you're cutting it off, and that sucks.
That's a bad day.
Yeah. So I have locked in impression material, or I've locked in impressions, polyvinyl impressions. I've done that twice. Mm-hmm. One I got out, one I had to cut out. The one I cut out was the very fucking first master impression I took on a crown in my dental school career as a junior dental student.
Oh, wow.
They didn't fucking tell us ever that we had to block out under a bridge. On the other side of the arch.
You only learned that lesson once.
Yeah, no, that's I guess we're calling that that's not Socratic education. That's prostate massage education. I don't know, I don't know what that is.
Milk the prostate.
Whatever it is, it's not fun. It was not good.
No.
I guess it was all right because I learned the lesson and my faculty member got to cut out the impression, not me. So.
Oh, even better. Okay.
Yeah. The other was not too long ago. It was a RPD impression, and I typically scan those, but I'd scanned it, and they were just like, the lab was just like, yeah, we don't, the palate is we'd get a better fit on the palate if we had an impression. I was like, all right, fine, send me a tray, and I did it. And it turns out that this guy was referred to me by the chair of Perio here, and apparently this guy is like a super famous scientific researcher. Like he's got just a million studies, and like at all the like the science conferences, they all know this fucking guy. And so I locked this impression in, and I'm just like, fuck me, I'm not gonna have to cut this out on this guy of all guys, right?
Sounds like
and I was like, ask my assistant, I was like, all right, get me a surgical burr and give me a handpiece, but I'm gonna try it one more time. And so she goes to get the surgical burr and the handpiece, and I thought, a lot of times, like if I'm trying to get a temp off or something like that, and I can't get it off, and I'm like, give me the hemostats or something like that. Like as soon as they go get the hemostats, like that's when it comes off,
Yeah.
And that's exactly how this was. Like as soon as I had her go get the burr and the handpiece, it came off. And I swear to God, I was going to take out a premolar with it, and almost did. That bad boy was mobile when I was done. I was like, this will tighten back up just fine. Crossing my fucking fingers the whole time, and it did. It tightened up. Thank God.
Yeah.
And I texted the Perio guy. I mean, I was like, you're not going to believe this. I fucking locked it. I almost locked an impression in on this guy. So I was like, I might need you to take a look at this premolar in a couple weeks if it's not if it's not tightened back up. To me, this is like, all right, this is something you do once, and then just like don't pick them up in the mouth anymore.
Yeah, that's my rule.
I also don't want to deal with like doing my own hard reline. Like that's just, that material's not fun to work with. You just, I don't know. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite thing in the world.
I'd rather pay a little extra lab fee to take away that stress.
Is it really that much extra? Like, I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't even look. It's like not an issue. I'm paying it, so I don't even want to know.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm praying for you. Hands down, praying for me, as Bo Burnham would say. I'm absolutely praying for you that this thing comes out, because that's a shit day.
It really is.
I guess just keep your model, and that way you can have the Lab Expo a new lower one, because as soon as you cut this bad boy out, like, you're not going to use it again.
Yeah.
And your patient's going to want something pretty quick. I guess you could go ahead and have the lab make a new lower.
Yeah.
Before you cut it out?
Yeah, I would think.
I mean, what's it like? All right, so it's fixed on one implant or whatever for 5 days while they make you a new lower. Is that going to be that big a deal?
No, it shouldn't be.
Yeah, go ahead and have your keep all your model work, all that. Go ahead and have the lab make you a new lower before you cut it off. That way you cut it off and then you deliver the new lower. And then do the reline and the pickup all at the same time.
Yeah.
Like have the lab do it with impression material.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It makes total sense, and I think I endorse this message.
I'm such a pussy, though. I know many people pick these up in the mouth all the time with no problems.
Oh, yeah.
But this, to me, is like one of those, like, once this happens, fuck this, man. I'm done. I'm not doing that again.
Russ Schaefer's just shitting bricks going, God, really?
Yeah, it's like the shittiest advice of all time, which is just so on brand for us. But I don't, God damn. I don't need the stress in my life. I just don't need it. What's the advantage of, like, you save like $50? Like, yeah.
Yeah. What's your stress in life worth?
Exactly. And also, how many, like, all right, so you're going to have to pay, you're to have a new lab, or you're going to have to pay to have the lab make you a new one, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is that? I don't know. $500, whatever.
Sure.
So that's 10 cases. If it saves you $50, that's 10 cases. you've just cost yourself 10 cases that you'd have to, that you're picking, like saving $50 a case by picking it up. Like now you've just made it to where after 10 cases, you will break even.
Right.
You will no longer be in the hole because of this. Like just, have the lab do the hard reline and the pickup at the same time.
Yeah. That's how I roll.
That is my deal. Do you have any friends who like to pick up their own attachments?
I don't have any friends, so no.
No, that's true. I forgot about that. Well, if you do have any friends that like to do that, tell them about the show. That's how we grow the show. One new ballsy dentist at a time. Lance, what's your favorite number? What's your favorite number of dentures to lock into the mouth?
0.
5? 0. I'm a huge fan of 0. Hit us up with a rating, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify. If you're flicking through Podbean, flick 5 stars. Hit us up on the web, workinginferences.com. Hit us up on all the social bullshits. Facebook, Working Inferences with Josh and Lance. Funny shit for dentists and dental team members. Twitter, @Winterferences. Instagram, @Winterferences. Lance can be found on Instagram @DRTimmermanDMD. I can be found on Instagram @JoshWastonDDS. Smash that follow button. Lance, is it your turn for a song? I believe it is.
It is. So I found a cover song. Actually, I think Clint sent this to me. You know the song Flagpole Sitta by Harvey Danger?
By Harvey Danger?
Yeah. So
there's a cover of that song?
Yeah, by Elohim and AWOL Nation.
Have we talked about Elohim before?
I don't think so.
What do you know about Elohim?
I mean,
like the word in general.
Okay. Well, that's supposed to mean God to the Jews. But other than that, I don't know.
Have you ever heard... These Jews have a lot of name for God, because there's like Yahweh as well. That's another one.
Uh-huh. He who shall not be named...
This motherfucker got a lot of names. That's all I'm saying. How many names do you need?
The one who remains... Wait.
In Oklahoma, my favorite state.
Okay.
There's a little town near the Arkansas border that consists of, just like most towns in Oklahoma, sister fuckers and incest babies called Elohim City.
Really?
And Elohim City is where, and it's like fucking liberal use of the word city, by the way. Oklahoma City, I'll let you get away with because there's like at least 400,000 people there. But Elohim City has like a population of about 230, and they're all related. And that's where Timothy McVeigh hung out a bunch before he went to go blow up the Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City.
Really?
Elohim City, bad place. Tough look.
Okay.
If you ever find yourself in Elohim City, get the fuck out of there.
Yeah. That sounds...
so tell me about your Elohim.
Just the cover of Flagpole Sitta and with AWOL Nation, so maybe that makes it less creepy.
Are we talking about a better...
Just different. I mean, I love Harvey Danger, so hard to say better.
That's a sentence I did not expect to hear today.
Really?
I haven't thought about that guy in 21 years.
Yeah, they're fun. I was at a small bar watching Robin Hitchcock play, and the singing backup was the lead singer of Harvey Danger, Nilsson, and playing guitar was freaking the guitarist from REM, Peter Buck.
Jesus.
And then in the crowd was the lead singer of Presidents of the United States of America, Chris Ballou, and he jumped up on stage to sing with them. So it's just fun music. So yeah, big fun. Big fan.
Okay, so Elohim remakes this song. What year are we talking?
2 years ago, 2019.
Okay, all right. And does it have a 2019 feel to it? 2019 musical vibe? Or is it just a straight like note by note remake like Weezer in Africa?
No, it's got a little different twist to it, but not terrible changes. Just you can tell it's somebody else singing it. So a little more electronic or electric or something.
And then at some point, you have some verbiage from the background come in and tell you all about Elohim City and that Christ was white, something like that.
Yeah. They have a pamphlet. They think you should receive their message.
Surely check out some of their meetings. Do the fucking chemical compilation and recipe for how you make nitroglycerin. Jesus.
Watch for the comment. So.
Oh man. Well, enjoy Elohim City in your trip there. I think that Guns N' Roses needs to write a new version of Paradise City, but take me down to Elohim City, where the grass is brown and the girls are my sister. Please, would you please take me home? For Lance Timmerman, I'm Josh Boston. Peace. Stay fresh, cheese bags.
Visions I was in them, I was looking into the mirror to see a little bit clearer. The writing isn't even me. Fingertips and memories, man can't forget the gifts of your body. And when I feel a bit naughty, I run them off the flagpole and see who's to lose when one of it does. I'm not sick, but I'm not well. And I'm so hard, 'cause I'm in hell. Been around the world and found that only stupid people are breeding. The Cretans cloning and feeding, and I don't even own a TV. Put me in the hospital for nerves and then they had to commit me. You told them I was crazy. They cut off my legs, now I'm in amputee. God damn you. I'm not sick, but I'm not well. And I'm so hard, 'cause I'm in hell. I'm not sick, I'm not well. And it's a sin to do so well.
I wanna publish scenes and rage against machines. I wanna pierce my tongue. It doesn't hurt, it feels fine. The trivial sublime.